Hey everybody, Irene Diamond here, Dream Practice Mastery Academy and Design Your Own, I can't even, who am I? Design Your Dream Practice. We are sitting here with Paula VanBaalen, and I wanted to bring Paula on because she had worked with me. We were trying to figure this out. It was back in 2014, I think is when we started, and I'm gathering some case studies and some histories of people who've worked with us for you to kind of get a bird's eye view into what Paula and I were doing way back when and where she is now. She's still in practice. She's still running a successful clinic. And I'd like to just say hi to Paula. And Paula, would you just quickly share with everybody where do you practice and just a brief understanding of the nature of your business?
Okay, so I practice all the way up in northern Minnesota. I am closer to Canada than the Twin Cities, is kind of how I put it. And so I have a multi-therapist practice. We've been up here since 2012. I expanded in 2013 to be a multi-therapist clinic, and then it's kind of been rolling ever since. In the last year, we started our workings towards opening up an actual clinical massage therapy training program up here. But with all the stuff going on with COVID, that's all kind of been put on hold for now, just until things get safe again.
Yeah, and so you've been in practice since when did you?
I've been a massage therapist since 2010.
Okay,
Or
got
2009. 2009 was when I graduated. I migrated 200 miles away from my hometown and started a practice from scratch up here.
And there's been a lot of changes over the years. I've watched you from afar after we stopped working together, but you're still in business. Yay, congratulations for that. And your business has been growing.
Yes.
And what I'd love to have you do, if it's okay with you, is I'll ask you a couple questions and as candid as you'd like to be, see if we can get some insight into how you actually have become more successful over the years, what it was that you did that, made the biggest difference for you. Most of the time when somebody seeks out a business coach, there is something they're trying to either change about their business, improve on, get rid of. Do you recall way back when you reached out to me, what it was that you were looking to solve, or how you thought I could help you as a business coach?
The biggest thing back then would have been within the first couple of years of when I expanded to be a multi-therapist practice. And like most people who jump into that type of growth situation is you tend to overstretch yourself and try to simultaneously do 2, 3, 4 different full-time jobs sometimes, all within a regular work week, which doesn't end up happening. And I was working probably 50 to 60 hours a week, treating patients 30 hours a week, 30 hours a week, give or take. And so that was probably my biggest struggle, was working too much and not delegating enough stuff.
Oh, that's so funny you say that, because now you said it, it came right back to me. I go, and you said, Irene, it makes so much sense now. You told me I was working 3 jobs. No wonder I'm tired, because it was like 30 hours in clinic with patients and clients, 30 hours running the business, 30 hours doing the marketing, the laundry, this. No
Nope.
wonder you were exhausted.
But I did it. I mean, that's what we all do at first until we learn better. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah, you push through because what are your options?
Yep.
Yeah, so you were looking for simplicity, maybe how to figure out how to spend your time, where to focus your energy and all that stuff, right? That was
How to leverage better.
yeah. So okay, so that was what caused you to look for some solutions. And so there's a zillion people out there. Do you recall what it was or why you were attracted to work with me?
I believe I got introduced to, I think it was with the World Massage Festival, not the festival, the conference, World Massage Conference, maybe. It was an online one of those where you watch like 5 or 6 different presenters every single day, and then you kind of do all that kind of stuff. And it just clicked is what it was. It was just the personality seemed to mesh, desires for the outcome of what you wanted to, out of life kind of seemed to mesh. And so that just kind of followed me to go through your We Give Back program training, and then escalate it from there over time. I think it was a period of 6 or 9 months when I went from one into the next. So
Yeah. So you started with the We Give Back program for a way to get your practice more exposure in the community
yep.
and generate leads.
Yep.
Got it. Cool. And then you thought, well, okay, that worked. Let's see what else this gal has up her sleeve.
Yep.
All right. And let's talk about some tangible results. So I believe it was about 2.5 years total that we were working together.
Yep.
So a lot happened during that time. Do you mind sharing some of the big
Yeah.
things?
The biggest thing that we ended up doing was the figuring out how to restructure client pricing and how to more accurately reflect it based off of experience and training and a level of value of what your time is actually worth versus what clients might necessarily think your time is worth, because most people aren't going to walk up to you and ask you to pay you more money than you're asking for. That's kind of not how it works with most people. And so with a lot of what we did, we restructured things within the business so that I was being more accurately compensated for the amount of effort that I put into the business without having to put more time into the business. And that helped a lot with me being able to scale back how many hands-on hours I was taking without disrupting the revenue flow. And from a numbers standpoint, I can see that like when we first started in 2014, we were just shy of $100,000 in sales in 2014. And then just by 2015, we were able to increase that by about $40,000 a year. And if I'm looking at my numbers correctly, that big jump was purely because we were getting a lot more exposure and we were doing a lot more sessions within the office. But then if we fast forward into that second year, our exposure and the number of sessions that we experienced didn't actually go up. In some months, they actually went down. But from 2015 to 2016, our revenue generated was increased by an additional $15,000 without us actually doing any more sessions.
Right, which is the beauty of it, making more money with fewer hours of hands-on therapy.
Yeah.
And some of that, and that's the clinic as a whole, right? That was you plus the other practitioners.
Yep.
And that was your gross.
Yes. Yep.
And so you mentioned something, you kind of brushed over it quickly as far as changing pricing to reflect experience. So you had a heck of a lot more experience in training than your other therapists, and at the time everybody was priced the same.
Yes.
And so what we did is highlight you, bring you, separate you out, so people who wanted to stay and work with you could, and if they did, their fees would be different. And I remember that was kind of a challenge for you because number one, you didn't want to lose your clients that you feel so connected to, and it was somewhat of a challenge for you to figure out, like, well, does it make sense, or is it fair to charge more for you, for somebody to see you over another provider?
Yes. Yep. You get over that after a while, though.
Yes, and then you started realizing fewer hands-on clients, more, if not the same amount of revenue, and that freed you up to be able to do the administration of the clinic.
Yep. And actually start having a social life again.
Oh, yes, I remember that too.
That part.
Hey, yes, 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 yes. I remember you just like so celebrating that you had time off.
Yes. It's nice. And we actually worked together. And one of the other things is we started delegating what was my job and what was other people's jobs. And so there were certain parts of the marketing that I turned over onto my receptionist staff that they can do. I did not have to do all of it. And so by letting them start monitoring some of the other stuff, that as well took more time that I didn't have to be in the office doing work all the time. And so I could go towards a more normal work schedule that by our standards in America here.
Yes, 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 yes. Delegation was such a big piece for you because you're right. You're smart. You're capable. You were doing everything. They would come to you with a problem. You'd put out the fire.
Yep.
And starting to learn how to delegate to them, hold them more accountable, empower them to make decisions and solve things without having to run to you. I do remember you went on a vacation. I can't remember where you went or what you did or how long you were away for, but it was the first vacation you had been on where you didn't have to worry about everything collapsing.
Yeah. Yep. Where I was able to actually just walk away from the business and know that they had everything under control for a week. So I could just go away and take care of me and reconnect with my husband. So,
Yeah. Yeah,
mhm.
nice. Nice. Any other big changes or strategies you implemented that you think were really influential in changing the business growth?
Not that I can remember off the top of the head. I know the We Give Back one was huge for exposure and generating goodwill in the area. And then we've morphed it and tweaked it and adjusted it as we've gone through time. But then also, but the biggest thing was restructuring how the business was flowing from a revenue standpoint as well as from a time management standpoint.
Mm. So if you know now, if you knew then what you know now, what would you have done sooner?
I would have adjusted prices sooner. And this isn't from an ego standpoint, it's from reality standpoint. I am the most educated massage therapist in the area. So the fact that I was charging less than some of the other ones is not something that is justifiable when you put that many tens of thousands of dollars into an education to not even reflect that in your pricing. There's a reason why doctors charge a certain amount of time per hour versus a nurse versus a tech. Like you have to have that gradient scale based off of your own educational standpoint as well.
Hmm. Hmm. And also the results that you are able to provide for your clients and patients that other providers might not be able to do.
Yep. Well, because if you have a different specialized skill set, that's also a different, puts you in a different category than a general, somebody who just does relaxation massage. Not that there's not a place for relaxation massage, but when you start niching down, it's really a lot more beneficial
Hmm.
for everybody.
For sure. For sure. Now you're in an area where it's hard to get staff. It's hard to get therapists. You started it at your own school.
That Kickstart program, it was supposed to start back in April, but that is going to be kind of pushed off. We're on schedule to start in September still, but we're still gauging the situation, seeing what's safe to do and what's not safe to do. But staffing has been my number one issue ever since I expanded from being in the back room of a hair salon to having a business on the main street in town. Being able to find and retain staff has been the biggest issue. And it's for various different reasons. I've had staff go because personality conflicts, which being able to separate from them, and when you know that they're not good for your energy and for your vibe, is a really valuable skill. But then also for different aspirations. I've had quite a few leave because they want to be moms and they want to be home with their kids, and you can't really fault them for that. But when you don't have, the nearest massage school is almost 100 miles away, there's only so much you can do to recruit people up this far.
Yes, yes. And there was an issue when we started working together. I think you have your therapist as independent contractors.
No, I've always had employees.
Please. Okay, good, 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 good. So, yeah, so finding therapists, there's not a lot of people around. So you figured, okay, let's, instead of try to ship people in, you're going to create a school where you are. And now the situation with the pandemic has put a little hold on that.
Yep.
Yeah, got it. But see, again, you're such a mover and shaker. You see some need and you just figure, okay, let's make it happen.
Yep.
Yeah,
Figure out how to get it done is the biggest thing.
absolutely. So what are your goals for this? I know, again, with the pandemic, it kind of puts a monkey wrench in it. But if we took that aside, what do you have any other big goals that you're looking to implement this year?
This year, getting the school off the ground is the biggest thing. During our initial shutdown, we were shut down for about 2.5 months here, and we are back to work now. I created just a ton of online content, more self-care videos. I did a small couples massage course, and I did more online stuff. That way you can diversify your offerings so you're not just stuck in the treatment room all the time. But to diversify what you have so that you can help clients more efficiently at home instead of just always relying on them coming into the physical office to get any sort of relief or help.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, I don't know if you know, but I've been teaching therapists how to do these video visits, and it's been sustaining so many practitioners where their revenue might be lower than it would be if they were in clinic, just because some people are still hesitant. But it's been a godsend for the clients and the therapists in the clinics. Yeah,
Yep.
online is here to stay for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. So, getting back to our coaching relationship, is there any last little thoughts? So, again, this is not to brag, but I am one of the most expensive business coaches,
Yep.
wellness providers. So, share with us, was there hesitation? Did you have any sort of nervousness? Because it was a pretty big, not only financial commitment or investment, but time, because we were going to work together for a year.
Yeah.
Any thoughts around that as far as were you just like, I know this is what I need, or were you hesitant, or?
Oh, there was definitely the day after there was the, oh my God, what did I do moment. But that I think happens when you make any sort of major life-changing decision is the next day you have that little of the, okay, because your whole world just got a little unstable. Are you sure you can do this? And so that's, from my experience, that's natural with almost any experience that you have. And it was more of the finances of how I can make it work. But one of the things that has been helpful is that if you have the mindset of you can make anything work, all the pieces fall into place no matter what, especially when you actually start taking action on what you're being told instead of just listening without actually applying anything that you're being told.
Hmm. So you said something super important. You thought, oh my gosh, am I sure I can do this? Meaning, are you sure you can do this? Not, are you sure I can help you do this? So it wasn't a doubt about myself. It was more of a doubt it wasn't a doubt about me as your coach. It was more of you had hesitations about your own ability.
Yeah. Well, and that's what it really comes down to for most people. Even if people want to project it on somebody else, all of those issues and the insecurities are a reflection of something inside of them that just happened to get triggered by the person that they're in relation with.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. And then to make sure that you could make it
Yep.
a
And then
good,
just make it happen.
and what?
Just make it happen.
Just make it happen. Right. There was no alternative. It was like, this is what we're going to be doing.
Yeah. Yep.
That's it. That's it. As they say, sometimes burn the bridges.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, anything else you'd like to add? Any other thoughts? What about suggestions to people who might be considering hiring a business coach, whether it's me or somebody else?
Hiring a business coach can be one of the scariest things, especially because we don't in our society like to think that we can ask for help. And there's this whole independent streak that we have to do it on our own and just kind of stick our heels in and do everything ourselves. But if you're always doing what you've always done, you'll never get where you want to go because you need to change and you need to evolve and you need to grow. And sometimes you need somebody there behind you cheering you on or giving you a kick in the pants or giving you the tough love and the truth behind things, because we tend to be in our world so much that we walk around with blinders on instead of actually seeing what's available out there, because we're so focused on what we've done and what we think we need to do to survive, which in fact, a lot of times it's not the same thing that we need to do to survive.
And then going from surviving, of course, to thriving is the end goal. So not just getting by, but having the support. So was it the support? Was it the strategy? Was it the information? Was it the accountability? Was it the kick in your butt when you needed to? Anything stand out that really maybe made the difference?
A lot of times it's the accountability. I found that about myself is I need somebody who I know is going to be there. And regardless on if I feel like I've completed that week's assignments or not, having that call and having the people there that you know are going to follow up with you. Okay, well, maybe you didn't do what you were supposed to do this week, but why not? Mm-hmm. And having that encouragement and having that person to kind of redirect you when you get stuck in things that may or may not be mattering at that time, but you think they matter and you think they're the biggest thing that's there, but sometimes you need somebody to redirect you and go, no, this is what we really need to be focusing on. That other stuff somebody else can do.
Yeah, that's so important. We all get caught up in our own little busy work when in reality that's not the big hinges that will move the big doors. Yeah, very cool. Paula, always fun to reconnect. We haven't really been in touch with each other aside from a like on a Facebook post here. Any parting words, anything else you'd like to add?
No, I don't think so. A lot of it's just follow your gut. Your gut helps a lot. And if you know in your gut that it's a good idea to work with somebody, follow that.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to take you wrong as long as you're actually listening.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, I say that because I laugh because when I've hired my own coaches, I mean, I always have a business coach. I do have two now. And that's it. It's like if we hire them, we trust them for their expertise, their insight, their ability to not be so emotionally caught up in our stuff and see it from an outside perspective. And the truth is, yes, exactly. We have to listen to what they're saying and implement and yeah, and be accountable to ourselves and to them and to the process.
Yeah. Yep.
Very cool. All right. Always a pleasure.
Yes, it
Good to
was.
connect with you. Thank you so much. And I'll get this off to you. And for those of you listening, if it sounds like something you'd like to be a part of, just reach out to us or reach out to me, and let's see if we can get your business where you want it to be. Thanks everybody for watching. Thank you, Paula, for your time. Appreciate you.
Yep. Thank you.